figure I sit here and just mouth words for a while until everybody was like, dude, it's muted. Um, I know what everybody wants to know. Did I shut down the biggest tree YouTube channel? And it's kind of complicated. Yes. Yes. It was all me. It was all me. I warned you. Then I warned you again. Then I warned you again. Then I tagged you. Then I tagged you again. And you just ignored me. So, you guys always ask me, like, people were curious what bureau I work for. And that's also complicated. I don't know. I just don't know how I want to do this. This is not the way I wanted things to work. I would prefer for things to resolve themselves much nicer and maybe heed some advice from up here, but you can't, especially if you have a bigger following and you're on the internet. Your head's too big. It's extremely swollen. What's up, Dan? How you doing, brother? So we'll just, for those that don't know, I told you guys that I had written a few guys citations, shut them down for about a week or so, and they did their time, and apparently, it was out of my hands. All I'm trying to do is I'm that friendly officer in your town that says, hey, just to let you know, the word around town is blah blah blah. You should chill. I may disguise everything in a humorous. What's up, ground pounder? In a humorous way, but most of the things I'm saying are all based in reality with a bit of satire mixed. I am. I mean, I don't know. I mean, let's go into it. That way we can explain this for someone that maybe is just getting here. Like off the cuff, before we even get into that, for God's sake, everyone stop. Babylon, what's going on? Right on, Ground Pounder says that's sweet. Using the Raptor. I made fun of veterans for not using the Raptor. Hey, I gotta give him credit. At least he follows orders and doesn't try to break the rules. He is allowed to. Well, we'll discuss the Raptor. We got to. I mean, so. You should. Definitely. So. All right, now I think I got her back. So, for God's sake, if you make YouTube videos, for God's sake, stop. Do not. Everyone on YouTube, stop putting up videos on how to sharpen a chainsaw. because you guys are forcing Buckin' Billy Ray to put out his 1000th video on how to sharpen a chainsaw. Just stop. Just stop, because I feel like every time y'all put one out that is like a little off, Buckin feels required to go like do a full discussion on it again, and it's, I would say Buckin's got her pretty figured out when it comes to filing a chainsaw. The problem is he hasn't taken it and really broke it down into a section, like really put it into a video, or maybe he has and I just haven't stumbled across it. But hey, sketchy and stupid are two different things, William. So yeah, he does. He does. I mean, he's just trying. I really can't fault the guy because he's trying to balance things out, you know? So he's like, this guy just put one up that's like off the, out of left field. Like I've seen just this week, we get into, no, hang on. This week was last week. Probably one of the worst sharpening videos I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen them all as I was trying to figure it out too. I went down the line, like I could always sharpen a chainsaw, but like I wanted to, like I seen other guys and I'm like, man, their stuff just works way better than mine. So maybe I need to really tune in on this. And you definitely, William, you got to get in that gullet and get that thing because you're losing your C, you know. So he's got that figured out. Don't get the gullet? Well, yeah, if you want to throw salt, like just straight powder, yeah, lose the gullet. Because a lot of ways that people use, and a lot of those tools that people use to sharpen, often the more that the tooth gets sharpened, the hook, you lose it because of how the tooth gets shorter and shorter. They're using that same file and they're going off that same spot and they're not pushing down. So it is just the law of the weight, like of how that metal works with a file. Most people don't push down enough and dig that out. So as the tooth gets shorter, they're losing the hook and it just gets duller and duller and cutting less and less and less. And it's like, yeah, it's like he's got his own language over there as far as bucking goes, so I can't really speak on that. El Rash, what's going on? But yeah, just stop. The guy, you guys are gonna like you make him do it every time. All right, so the main thing. Well, normally I would hide this towards the end of the video because it's kind of the more important part to try to. But I don't care. I'm sick of playing these stupid games, the YouTube games. So, guilty of treason. It's like a ski ramp. Yeah, the ski ramp got just introduced. I'm like, I can't even. I kind of like it, if I'm being honest, because the hillbilly in me likes a visual more, and I'm like, how do you explain that to somebody? And he's figured out visuals to explain it instead of being like, it needs to be like a little bit of a hook. Well, a hook in most people's mind goes, so like, I got to give the guy credit. He's done 1,000 sharpening videos, so he's gotten really good at it. So wow, really? Well, welcome. That is cool. Different depth gauges for different chain sizes, or is it universal? Well, I think that the depth gauge is just how much that tooth is being hit each time. So it's universal, I do believe, but I would think it may differ a little bit. Like it'll differ for the woods. that's what I've seen with my depth gauges, all of my ever had. They're universal except for if you're cutting softwood and if you're cutting hardwood. So one's a little more aggressive. So depending on what you're doing, you can get that extra little bit. So yeah, and I guess I don't say it enough. If you guys don't mind and you are like entertained or you think that this sucks and you want to tell me it does, you can hit one of the thumb buttons. It helps the. I just said I'm not gonna play the game, and it's like instinct. So guilty of treason. Hadn't put out videos. What's going on? Why is he not putting out videos? This is weird. Eyeballing your depth gauge is the only way. Feel out your environment and apply yourself. I don't do enough psychedelics for that, brother. I'll try to buy some mushrooms the next chance I get, but I'll just use a depth gauge, man. And a lot of times I feel like that's those things that this like I'm gonna teach you how to rig a tree, and like someone doesn't know anything, and the first thing I do is go up and set 6 or 7 different rings in particular spots to get the best like combination of strength, and then I double whip tackle and do a controlled speed line, and it's like, what? That I thought you just used the rope and cut and then lowered. Yeah, there's like, if you're going to do a how-to video for experts, you can maybe start to lose a tool here and there. You know, that's where I think it doesn't get pointed out. Like satire doesn't come off for some people, but like that, like eyeballing a thing, I assure you, if you were playing, the other one wasn't. Just, I mean, just being straight up. And we're going to talk about, like, he did one how-to video that absolutely blew my mind and I thought was crazy. And then he did another how-to video this week on how to start your chainsaw. And I just, like, that, so his video on how to start a chainsaw is what birthed my short, well, not my short, but that one guy's short who cut his pecker off. So, I mean, I should have done one for filing too, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll do more. We'll just have to see. Gaming Owl, what's up? Give me advice. Should I join gym or wrestling club? I want to be more confident. I would say wrestling. It's going to give you some, like, I never wrestled, but I had my own things to where it was like group activities, and nowadays everybody's so much on their phone, they lack social confidence. So if I'm being straight up, I didn't wrestle, but I would say wrestle, because if you can go walk out there in that leotard and feel confident, you're going to walk around feeling confident at all times. There's, like, breaking it down to the simplest of the simplest, and you're going to have a lot of, like, you'll become, closer with some other people too along the way, being a sort of a team sport, I guess. But that would be my advice. Gym's cool, but I would say wrestle. Way more women at the gym, homie. Oh yeah, if you're just looking to go pick up some tail, I would say go to the gym. Like, yeah, the women aren't gonna be for a lot of them. Some chicks wrestle, but yeah, they're not gonna be at the wrestling mats. But wrestling mats, like, there's a difference. Like, you can go to that gym and lift all you want and not be confident that when you walk into a room, that if a man wanted to, he couldn't take your chick and pie face you like a little boy at the same time. I believe wrestling would give you the confidence to walk into a room and stand with any man and still feel confident. And that's where a lot of guys lack confidence. You can put it off, but you can see it deep down. If it gets in those situations or gets towards those like times, They're just not confident. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's a you're gonna gain confidence with either one though. So if you don't do one, try the other one. Get into jujitsu. There you go. Strangle someone, Justin. That's what I'm saying. That's all awesome. So yeah, Gammon. I hope that helps. So Guilty gets a knock at the door, and L&I has showed up, and he's in trouble. What's up, Bennett? So he hasn't been posting any videos because I shut him down the last week. But this week, he had this, the guy showed up and dealt with him. I wanted to stay distant. Like, I still want people to kind of think I'm cool. See, the way I figure is, 6ix9ine snitched and no one, he's still cool, isn't he? He's not cool, really. But, like, I thought snitching was, like, kind of okay these days. But, yeah, so he gets in trouble. The L&I don't know, like, listen, idiot, is what it stands for, I think. And that's when they're like, listen, idiot, you're doing this wrong. Or listen, idiot, blah, blah, blah. So they knocked on his door and were like, listen, idiot, Officer Bourne has made 17 videos telling you to not do this, this, and this. Have you not heard? And I think he's trying to big dog me and pretend like he didn't. Maybe he didn't. Maybe my reach is so small that he didn't get to him. But I tagged him. So it's hard to say that he didn't get it. So apparently Jake has gotten in trouble. He's going to get fined and stuff. He says he's finally going to take safety serious. So that's cool. VR. Yeah, that's pretty sick. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. That's cool. What's up with the veg? Woody from Toy Story? Yeah. Yeah. I'm just the sheriff, man. Sheriffs have badges. And someone has to take care of the BS going on. So I didn't choose the job, Commander. It chose me. Snitching's not good. Okay. Well, I don't know. Well then, if it's not cool, I didn't do it. Okay, let's start over. I didn't do it because I want to be cool more than anything. So, for God's sake, I make YouTube videos. That should tell you right there. The most important thing on my mind is being cool. So, if snitching's not cool, I didn't do it. Right from the get-go. So, but it happened, and now he says he's going to take safety serious, which worries me, because now I feel like he's going to go from doing that to non-stop safety videos all the time. And it's going to be like, oh no. But I could understand where that'll kind of come from. I don't like that he got in trouble. So anybody reading into this thinking that I like that he got in trouble, I don't like it. That's why I shot off 15 warning shots. Hey, dude, chill out. Because if we're being honest, I can understand someone who has started out, has learned along the way, and isn't the absolute safest at this point, but they're getting there. They're every day they're becoming a little safer, whether it be with extra knowledge, better techniques, or higher safety standards, or equipment. You know, I'm sure there's a list of things. So if you're becoming safe, say you just climbed with a buck strap when you started, spikes, and that's it, and a chainsaw, and it was a backhanded, and you one-handed it, you didn't have a lanyard, are you free climbed? I don't even care if you free climbed from the get-go. If along the way you've decided, instead of free climbing up here, I could fall, I'm going to use a saddle. And then you wore the saddle and you're like, you know what, if I had a little strap that went around the tree, I could be a little closer and safer to where I wouldn't fall off a limb. And then you put a climb line into it. It's called getting better. Now, I like Jacob. I like the whole Guilty of Treason YouTube channel. It is, some people can say whatever they want. As far as entertaining, I get why he's got the subscribers he's got. I agree with it. I love his content. Like, it is very entertaining to me. And I really like Randy is the Mandy. I relate to him, I think, a little more than I do, well, at times, a lot more, than I do Jacob. And I don't really know Isaac all that good, We're just kind of getting to know the dude. I don't watch the guy anyway. I enjoy his content. But he worked at Eastside Tree Works, where they are very, very to the T safe. Used to have spikes in a saddle. No, I got a Raptor. Shit. Sweet. That's probably why you don't use the damn depth gauge. You're just lazy. You got a Raptor too? Son of a gun. I got a Nia centimeter. So many tickets. No, that's not a ticket. That's just lazy, man. I'm going to talk about it here in a little bit and give my true opinion on it. But Jacob worked at Eastside Tree Works. That they had all the safety standards. They followed every single rule. It was by the book. He worked there for many years. Was one of the bosses. I think probably upheld the safety standards for a very, very long time. And I hope I do not offend anybody right now. That is honest to God. I joke a lot. A lot of the stuff I do is just for fun. This is me being straight up with you guys. Like, ignore this thing. Ignore all the character thing. He was very safe when he left there. In the process, he lost Jed. And continued to get less and less concerned with safety. And but you know what? I shouldn't even have brought that up. Just the fact he was safe at Eastside, and along the way he's started to ignore things and get less and less concerned with being safe. And that may be because the guy's overwhelmed. He's growing this big operation really, really fast. I don't know. But that's what I'm talking about. I wouldn't give you a hard time if along the way, maybe you didn't know that you're supposed to do all these things. Maybe you've got to integrate that stuff into what you do. But you don't go this way. You don't go this way because that's when people get hurt. When you're going this way and you don't care. Not only that, you have a youth, Billy. What's up, brother? God, it's good to see you here, man. So you don't go that way because that's when people get hurt. Somebody could lose their life, and it's just not worth it. Not only that, you have this big YouTube channel with tons of people that look up to you and are inspired by you, and you're pointing out the goofy things that you do on the regular and giving lame-ass excuses for why it's okay for you to do it. That's the truth, man. I hope that he gets through all this. It is not hard on him. They don't ticket him like crazy. Maybe I'll make a call in and see if I can get get them to ease up on him. But Saul Banditeer, what's up, man? Holy shit. What's up? Dude, I didn't even see you. But yeah, that's just, it's the truth, man. Work a little bit too close to the timelines. What else do you do? So long. Dude, he nonstop will buckstrap climb a tree out and remove the whole tree with nothing but a buckstrap and say it's safer this way. And he would point it out. And he's got a full climbing system on him, and instead of using it with his climb line, and it's just goofy. It's old school logger mentality, but you can't do that in residential and get away with it, especially when you're the boss. Like, I end up talking to Game of Trees. We'll get into it here in a little bit. And he gives me this big long spiel about why he thinks, why it's okay for one person to one-hand a chainsaw and why it's not okay for another person to one-hand a chainsaw, which is absolutely crazy to me, but we'll talk about it. Jacob's just a big figure to be pointing out these silly mistakes and stuff, and that's the main thing that got me, is the climbing on just a buck strap and pointing out that he thinks he's faster because of it. I think Jacob's a great tree guy, PR. None of this is anything personal. I hate that it went this way and that he's dealing with this shit. But the reality of the situation is he has went in reverse when it comes to being safe, and it's just kind of silly. Please explain what Jake did so wrong besides the power line. One more. What up, Greg? What's up, brother? Squirrely John, what's going on? Yeah, I watch him, but I don't see nothing too crazy that I've ever seen, but I could be wrong. Just what I'm saying there, man. He will repeatedly do that and if you're up in a tree, and even when he's working a spar down, he'd point out in a video, you should have a tie-in on, because if you was to make a cut and cut yourself, you need to be able to get to the ground. 10 minutes later in that exact same video, he didn't use a climb line and made an excuse of the only way to get down is to buckstrap down. No, it's not. What if you cut your arm almost off? You're going to buckstrap with one hand? No, you're not going to. You're going to fall. And like, there's a way to word things and manipulate the situation and try to make it work for you. And a lot of people would give you that pass. And if I wasn't doing this little gig here, I probably wouldn't even look into it so much. He can do whatever he wants in reality. He's his own man. He's now paying for what he decided to do. And I hate that. I don't really like that. I would rather have, him deal with me as opposed to dealing with them. Just being straight up. But, so, he's dealing with that first thing when he got up. Then he goes off and he buys a crane off the internet. What's going on here? Like, if I'm spending $250,000, I'm gonna go see it in person. I'm gonna go shake the person's hand I buy it from. I'm not wiring money and looking at internet pictures to buy a $250,000 machine. That is crazy to me. Can't fix stupid, but you can. Yeah, 100%, Billy. 100%. Yeah, that's 100% right. So he buys this crane. He wires them $30,000. The crane is supposed to show up. It gets delayed. Something wrong with it. Check engine light. It gets delayed another week. Then the driver tries to drive it to him, and at some point, the heater goes out, and they have to put a heater core in it. So they take it back again. It gets delayed. So they finally get it out to him. apparently it can't hear or something because he said it's like all deaf or something. Like I don't know cranes. He said that it showed up with no deaf, and I'm like, we have the same shit in Ireland. Well, that checks out. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure there's some hillbilly, some white trash in Ireland. I don't know what you guys call it, but yeah, there's some wild shit over here. They call them half price Harrys over here, but you know, they're cowboys. You know, some people don't sit on the internet all the time realizing that things have improved and like researching, and they just know what they were taught one day and they just go on from that. Those people I understand, but you can't tell me like when your focus is more about being a big, huge character and content creator and it's no longer respecting the job, that's where you need to put the camera down for a day and just chill. And I feel like that happens a lot, though. Half price here, yeah. So when this crane shows up, it shows up the check engine lights on, and he says the driver drove it with no death. I think that's what he said. You guys know what death is? Is it like the readings for like diesel exhaust fluid? Really? That's what it is? Really? I would have never guessed that. That's crazy. Okay. I would have checked the blinker fluid before I checked the exhaust fluid. So, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, right on. Thanks, ground pounder. Yeah, I had no idea what he was talking about, but he said the guy drove it with no def in it. The check engine light's on, so he takes it and has whatever fixed. He sets the crane up and realizes that he bought the wrong crane. What's up, Bennett? Welcome back. He said 24% of the last 20k miles. Jeez. I think I explained it wrong. Oh, okay. So apparently with cranes, there's continuous rotation and there's like semi-continuous or non-continuous rotation. So it's like same thing with lifts. Most lifts they have a non-continuous. They have a stopping point. And sometimes you can bust the gears by trying to go the other direction when you're not supposed to. I've seen that stuff happen with like those tow behind bill jacks. But he finds that out after a while. He sets it up, sets the crane up, and then realizes that it doesn't make a full, like it won't do full turn. It's not continuous rotation on it. So he starts to wonder then, okay, now the crane he thought he bought is a 14127 National. And it has continuous rotation. That's the one he thought he was buying. He said he seen that it said 1400H on the boom, but he just thought that's okay, which is weird to me. Then when he looked at the chart wasn't the same either. So then he checks something else and finds out the crane he has at his house now is a 1400H. And it has non-continuous rotation and is like shorter, I believe, than the one he thought he was getting. It doesn't do a full spin, so I could see where that would be very aggravating as a crane operator, to where you can't. I mean, I could imagine you could just set up to where you're working off one side of the truck or something, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. You could make that work. But yeah, it definitely isn't as nice as having continuous. And so he starts thinking like, whoa, what's going on here? And he realizes now that it says 1400H real big on the boom. Maybe that's not the right crane. He looks at his paperwork, and the paperwork says 1400H. He got the wrong crane. Now, I want to preface this with Jacob, I hate to hear, and I'm sorry to hear about your grandma, and congratulations on the baby. The dude may just be overwhelmed. He may just be, his plate's so full, he's making goofy decisions and mistakes, but you signed paperwork that you probably should have read. You've seen pictures. Now, this is what he's saying. He's saying he called the company back and he wants a refund. They sent me the wrong crane. I don't want this crane. And they're saying, nope, you got the right crane. That's the same. And his argument is that he's been researching the 14127, so he wouldn't have ordered a 1400H. I don't. Yeah, he probably should just get a lawyer, because he's put himself in a life-altering business transaction of $250,000 where he has already wired them $30,000. They've delayed his product for almost a month. It shows up broken and isn't what he thought it was. And when he asked for them to refund it, they basically said no. So I don't know what. I think you probably just go get a lawyer on retainer. He probably takes care of this and gets your money back before it goes to a trial. And you cut your losses and realize you can't do everything over the damn internet. If you're gonna, I don't know. I guess I'm just always going to be poor for the rest of my life. I'm a poor guy. I'm going to be poor for the rest of my life. Because I would never make a decision of $250,000 without examining what I'm getting and knowing its quality, or up to the quality that it's supposed to be. I just don't have it like that. I don't know how anybody ever gets it like that, to where you can make that sort of a decision and go to your bank account and wire $30,000 out just blindly, and then not actually realize that you have the wrong crane until days afterwards. Maybe weeks. Like, I don't even know. Yeah, you just got to get something new, BR. Just work, man. I'm the same way, brother. It's just, that's life. That's the cards God dealt me. I'm good with it, man. I got beyond great family, and I got some really good friends. Even though I'm not a guy that usually has very many. I have so many more close friends on the internet than I do in real life. I don't even think I have any. Like, there's nobody that I would like go hang out with. I'm a bit of a loner, huh? So Greg's like my best friend, and he don't even know it. That's what's crazy. I never even told him. I'm gonna get us both those, Greg. I'm gonna get us both those little hearts in mine. You can choose if you want best or friend, and I'll take the other one, and we can wear them. It'd be sick. It'd be so tough. Damn it, my knee popped out of place. I got this chunk of bone that is loose in my knee that I like have to shift back into place at times. So Jacob's dealing with that right now, and this L&I stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't envy him. So I thought it was your best friend. Oh shit, my bad. Yeah, you can. We'll work on it, Br. We can work on it. So the bad part is Jacob's like, he thinks he got scammed because they're telling him that these two cranes are in the same family and they're very similar and basically the same crane, and he knows that they're not. So I don't know, man. He hopefully he gets it figured out. This is bullshit. His heartbroken. Yeah, yeah. So all right. Well, I'm I'm not worth, like, I wouldn't be that upset. I'm definitely not worth all that. Um, Jacob also hired a cameraman. So YouTube has just put you in a situation where these people, the LNI has been watching his videos for a long time. That's how they got a hold of him. So I his issue is he's burnt out on YouTube, this and that. So his answer is to double down. He has hired a cameraman and he's doubling down. And so I'm going to have to, let's get back to the script that we're usually on and hit Jacob with a ticket. You're tubing too hard. Now, I'm thinking about, like, I definitely should make t-shirts that says, I got caught tubing too hard, and, like, have a guy behind bars. But you're tubing too hard, alright? You gotta pull it back a little bit. If YouTube got you burnt out, got you in trouble where you're being fined, you gotta pull back a little bit, man. Okay. Yeah, it feels like I just need to make it. I need somebody to, like, partner up with me and we can make a deal or something, but, and make them for me. But, yeah, you're tubing too hard, brother. You're just tubing too hard. It happens. Like, the clout is so, it's a drug. It's like heroin or fentanyl. Like, I don't even know how people get addicted to fentanyl either. That's crazy to me. But I took pain pills for a long time and I loved them. So I get that. Like, when you can take this little pill and it makes all your pains go away, that's a pretty sweet deal. But, like, I'm not the guy for them. I should never be around them and I should never take any of them because I don't do things in moderation. And like 4 years of rehab was enough for me that I just stay away from that. But I think some people get addicted to tubing. And when I say tubing, YouTube it. So you're burnt out. You got in all this trouble. So you hired a cameraman. You're going to do twice as many YouTube videos. So I can't. I'm not making this up. This is all real. Things. Me too. I think about a little over a decade I've been clean, but when I had my fall, that was my issue. Was I basically I crippled myself. I couldn't walk. Like, fucked up my back real bad. My sternum's still dislocated. My pelvis was cracked. Like, I was black and blue from, like, my hips to, like, down to my knees, which was interesting. But yeah, and I didn't go to the doctor. I just soaked my entire body in biofreeze and took fistfuls of ibuprofen, which was probably not the best thing for me either. But it was a very humbling time in my life where I dealt with more pain than I think I've ever. I got comfortable with the uncomfortable and did something mentally to myself that, like, I don't know if many humans will ever try. Like, yeah, yeah, it. I hurt so bad. That's why, like, I can walk around and do what I do with blown out knees. I hurt myself on the regular. Like, pain is a normal thing. I It's just normal for me. Like, I'm in pain right now, but it's like something that mentally I can completely block out, and that took a long time. And like, I sat there for weeks at a time suffering before I got mentally. I had breakdowns. I thought I just ruined not only my life but other people's life. It was a rough one. So like, to come out of that mentally and build myself up back up. Like, I didn't reach out. I stayed very closed myself off from everybody, and I dealt with it. It was like, you made this bed, now literally lie in it and suffer. Because, you know, went to the hospital. They was just going to give me a Demerol shot or something, and then sobriety is out the window, and I've had a taste of it again, and that's all I want. And I'm sure they wanted to give me, like, nope. Oh, so. All right, let's move on. So, Jacob, don't tube so hard, brother. And just chill. Just chill. I hope life gets a little easier for you. Yeah. Yeah, that's Saw Bandit. It always trips me out when I see people that get like a paper cut and it's like the end of their world, or they stub their toe, or they're like, I think I broke my arm, and all they did was like bump their elbow, and I'm like, wow, me and you are on two different like, the suffer is not a bad thing. Knowing how to deal with suffering, whether it be emotional or physical, can make you mentally much stronger. Like, much stronger. Because, like, you know you can deal with it if you ever get to that point. I don't... Hold up. I am a YouTube officer. I just became, like, a self-help guru and starting to give you guys life advice. Ignore everything I just said. Don't do anything that I just said. I am not the guy for that. Let's talk tree stuff. Tree cloud is a real drug. It is. I seen a guy snorting it the other day. So, did anybody else see Elon Musk got a chainsaw? Get out of here, dude. You ain't trying to fit in. Next thing, he'll be in the chat here like, what's up, guys? Can I hang? And I'll be like, give me some money. Maybe. Give me some money. You see that chainsaw, though? %, Bennett. Yeah, you could tell. I seen him do it, but then when he turned around, he still had a little bit of clout right here on his nose, and I'm like, dude, jeez, get out of here. He's the new rep. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I want that chainsaw though. I think it's like, does anybody know about the one comment I seen on the post? Because someone shared it and it only had 2 comments, and somebody says that the saw was a Doge, like a Doge, from like a Tootin guy or Tutton or something like that. I don't know, Bennett, but when they do, I'll knock it down. I left Elon a message and told him to send it to me. Sweet! When you're done with it, send it to me, Greg. Since we're best friends. I'm sure you'll do. Yeah, apparently the president of Argentina sent Mr. Musk a Doge chainsaw. The guy's name, I think, is like Javier Milei or something, Millier or some, whatever. But you want to be in our best friends club? Ground powder, you can be in. But Yeah. Chainsaw looked pretty sick. Oh, okay. I have to do this because if you leave a ridiculous, like a, I'm telling you, just straight up, I have the ability to bring the insecurity out of another man. Don't ask me why. I don't try to do this. I don't try to do it. But I can bring it out of another man. Just the sight of me. I guess it's the way I carry myself. I don't really know. Because personally, I feel like I stick to myself. And I'm kind of a loner. So the fact that I make other individuals so insecure at times is very puzzling to me. But maybe I don't see it because I'm just me. But somebody left a comment. And so he watches my last video and he says, I got a question for you. You didn't have to say that, first of all. You could have just put your question. I know that you're probably talking to me. You're leaving a comment on my video. So right from the get-go, we're not, this ain't going good. This guy is like, I got a question for you. The fact that you felt the need that you needed to emphasize that your question you were about to ask is for me. Okay. I really hope you don't do that on all your comments that you leave. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe he'll be back. But so why do you always have something negative in all your titles? I think's what he said. And I'm like, I don't know, bro. Like, it's the reality of the situation. I title it kind of according to what's going on in that video. And I'm like, man, that's weird. I need to, because I'm like, I tried to get away from that kind of stuff. And I'm like, what I put in it that was negative? And like, sometimes negative stuff happens. I'm not one of these people that walk around and think that everything's got to be positive and you can only leave positive comments. Criticism, there's nothing wrong with it. It's really warranted in some situations. If it wasn't, this wouldn't be happening. I wouldn't even be here right now. So I look, and the only thing in the title of the video is large 120-foot hackberry removal on a steep hillside. From accident to whatever. And I put it in quotes. And I guess he thinks the word accident is negative. So we have some like very sensitive, very, 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 very sensitive. Is John leaving? Is Greg leaving too? Dang. See you, John. Right on, Greg. I appreciate you, brother. Stay safe. So, that is what it is. You can have that. I guess I'm a negative guy. I mean, if you think the word accident is negative, I guess I'm guilty. Here, I'll even do this. There. I should not put negative words. They should all be positive. That way, homeboy can feel better about himself and not watch a 25-minute video and be stuck on the fact that the title had a word I didn't like in it. You watch that whole damn video, you didn't have anything else to say? You didn't have nothing else to say? That's it? That's what I say to that. But the nice guy in me says, I'm sorry, I won't do that no more, okay? I'll say positive stuff. I'm probably not doing that. So. Not even leaving. Dang. So, yeah, that dude, that comment sucked. So that's the gist of what I was getting to. I didn't like your comment, and I hate that I made you feel insecure enough for you to be complaining about something negative while at the same damn time leaving a negative comment on my video. You should probably have yourself checked. Or actually don't. I think people need to stop having their self checked and just sit down in a dark room and get right with yourself in your mind. Because, like, being on some silly ass drug is not going to make you psychologically better. Like, maybe it'll help some people, but I think others, I don't know. Oh my God! Alright, when I come back on camera, we're going to forget that any of that happened. I didn't jump like a girl. That didn't happen. You guys remember when that thing went off and I was like, what's up? And I didn't get scared at all? That was sick, wasn't it? Stupid. I didn't even realize that that's why I jumped so high. Did you jump too, Bert? Son of a gun, man. Yeah, that sucked. I didn't realize it was even plugged up. Like, so disregard that. I'm usually way tougher and stronger. So, all right, check out J306. Jay, I don't know if Jay's been here tonight, but Jay has been working on this 39 Chevy Coupe and building it from the ground up, and it has been so sick. So Jay's channel is J306, but check him out. He's been doing some metal fab work this week, and Jay's just an all-around good dude. Awesome tree guy too. I think he builds axes. Like, Jay does it all. Okay, so then last week I told you guys that I wasn't going to give up on this channel. I was upset with him last week. I was disappointed. You know how your dad tells you he's disappointed? I'm disappointed. Treesus Bartleby. Treesus is very funny. I actually knew Treesus through Facebook, is how I knew of him. And then I came over and I was doing my YouTube videos while he was doing Facebook and stuff. And then we got into some, like, that high climbers society, whatever that club was. I don't even know if it's still going. But after a while, it just seemed like a money grab for me. But, yeah. I knew him from over there, the high climbers hangout or club or something. I don't even remember whatever group we were in. But, each state had certain representatives and stuff, and they were supposed to send me patches and all. And I was like, I'm good. I don't do all that. Like, and you're supposed to wear it around like a biker and stuff. Like, that just wasn't my gig. But it was cool that they were having a bit of a brotherhood. I kind of like that. I'm a Masonic member, so I'm a Mason. I belong to a local lodge, and maybe you catch some of it in the background. Like, that's my wife's. That's like my wife's husband's. You know how cops are Masons. The whole thing kind of goes together. But that's kind of what I looked at that group as, and I thought it was kind of cool. Super Dave, what is going on, man? All right, so Treesus last week put up the lamest video I've ever seen him do. where he took us along to a safety meeting. I have been telling everybody, go check this channel out. This guy is very entertaining. He's funny. He's creative. He's this. He's that. Go check him out. Go check him out. Go check him out. And then I watched his video, and it was boring as all get out. And like, I don't know. It wasn't good. It just wasn't good. It blew my mind because it's not him. So I talked about it last week. I was like, hey, his video was lame as hell. It was boring. That video sucked. And he must have watched it because he left some laughing faces. He didn't respond. He just left some laughing faces. So I'm glad that he found some humor in it. And even better, he wronged the right this week. So he put out a video called, and the channel is Treesus Bartleby. Treesus is tree, S-U-S. Bartleby is B-A-R-T-E-L-B-Y. And he's growing his channel. It's going, like, his channel will go good. He does good content. He's a very entertaining guy. So go check his channel out. Because he redeemed himself with this video, and it's called Treesus Cuts America. California Cuts. My notes here say, now this video is more like it. Treesus does a really good job with his B-roll. He has really good B-roll in his videos. And, I mean, I could take the music or leave it. He likes, like, heavy electronic music. Sometimes I could do without it. But, I mean, to each their own. So he uses this really cool, to pull a tree over, this really cool little 5-to-1 setup, and it has a progress capture on it. I really like that setup. It's from ISC. So what it is a double sheaved pulley that has a progress capture where it won't let the line back out. It'll hold the tension that you put into the system. Every single time that you pull, it tightens the system up and it holds it into place. So sometimes when you're doing like a 5-to-1 setup, you can, you got to keep tension on it at all times to keep it held because it'll want to come back out. So that thing's really nice to have that setup where one double sheave is just a normal, and then you have the other one back here where it exits, the rope exits the last one. So like the rope will come from here, it'll go to that anchor that's being pulled from, and from those it'll go here to here to here and back. And when it comes back that last time, you capture the progress. It's got a little rope grab built into the double sheave pulley. And then he hooked up to the ISC, the CMI rope jack. And we talked about the CMI rope jack the other day in a live feed. So if you're curious, go check that out. But yeah. Good grinder. Alright. So, yeah, go check him out. You did the cuts real good, Treesus. If you see this, you did the cuts good. I don't have much to complain about this time. So keep it up, or I will be back to spank your bottom. That sounded sus. I'll throw you in jail. That's what I'll do. That response was in reference to his video, so. Okay. Now, Game of Trees. Game of Trees is different. So, he puts out a video. It's called Climbing Heavy Leaner with Decay. The thumbnail says, do you one-hand a chainsaw? And I'm like, this guy sometimes contradicts himself. I wish he would just have an opinion and stick to it instead of being like sitting on the fence. I don't get people that sit on the fence because a lot of fences I've seen are sharp and they could go in you, first of all. So I'm not sitting on the fence. I'll climb the fence or I'll sit on this side of the fence or that side of the fence. I don't want nothing between my cheeks. So I feel like if you're always sitting on the fence, there's a bit of a desire to have something between your cheeks. Yeah, yeah, that's just my personal opinion on that. But I do not one hand that chainsaw. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So he he randomly brings this up. I don't know why he brought it up. He's like, I get asked a lot by people, why aren't you? Or he's like, I'm sure this is what he. This is the way he decided to bring it up. He had thought about having this discussion long before he got in this tree. I guarantee you, because the way he brought it up was absolutely weird. He's cutting with his little chainsaw. He's got a little echo, and he's talking about his chainsaw and everything. Yeah, yeah, you could, I guess. I think a lot of people don't realize that most top handle chainsaws and a lot of chainsaws have inertia brakes to them, and they think that their wrist is what locked the brake because it kicks back so quick and it locks the brake off. I think some people think that their wrist does it, and there's an inertia brake to those that when they take a hard kick, it instantly locks the brake onto it. So I think the that one handing is not for it shouldn't. It's like a super advanced technique. That would be my opinion on it. It's a very, very, very advanced technique, not meant for every situation or application. That would be my advice on any of it. So the way he brings this up is he's like, I'm sure you guys want to ask me in the comments right now, why don't I just one hand my chainsaw? Because he pulled his handsaw out and cut a branch. And he's like, well, the reason I don't one hand a chainsaw is because I never one hand a chainsaw. And I'm like, dude, if this wasn't the most YouTube, you wrote this script out last night when you were thinking about this. Because it comes off so scripted and weird. Like, you could have thought of a better way to talk about people one-handed a chainsaw. So then he says, I never one-handed a chainsaw. It comes down to, what did he say? It comes down to habit, I think. Yeah, it comes down to habit. So if you're always doing it, that's why you do it. No, 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 no. Like that's why you may do it at times and when it's not needed or something. Like that's not every situation. Some people will one-hand a chainsaw for a particular situation and maybe not in another. It's just there's just too many variables, and when you're a guy watching another dude use a chainsaw, to think that you know better, it's mind melting to me. But maybe there's a reason that guy, maybe it's a goofy ass reason, maybe it's a silly, but he's got a reason why he does what he does. So that I kind of let go. I'm not really focusing on that. I think it's funny he wanted to bring it up because he then immediately put his butt cheeks right on that fence post and straddled it and realized, I don't know if I want to take a strong stance either way. So he says, I've seen a lot of high profile content creators do that. And what I would say is it comes down to habit. That was his way to get out of it. Because you have to say, if it's stupid, It's stupid, man. If your opinion is one-handing a chainsaw is stupid, then your opinion is that. It shouldn't vary depending on the person that's doing it. So I leave a comment and I ask, so is it only okay to one-hand a chainsaw if you're a higher profile content creator, or is it bad in general? And I got a response by him. So, and also, as he's doing this, he puts himself in a really weird work position. He asks some silly questions about that. So, but first, let's go to is it okay to one hand only if you're a higher profile person? Because that's exactly what he said. He may have worded it a little different, but so his answer to me was, any owner-operator can handle a saw in any way they want. The regulations are for employees and enforced against employers who employ them. Blah, 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 blah. I didn't write all that. It went on forever. So basically he's saying if you are the boss, you can one-hand a chainsaw, and apparently it's okay. But it's only a he didn't answer it. So, do you think one-handing is bad? You should just say yes. Yes, it's bad. Not type me out a paragraph this big that says, well, the reason one-handing is bad is because as the operator owner, you are showing your employee a bad technique that could get them hurt, which could take your workman's comp away, which could cause this, which got Debbie pregnant. And I don't. He lost me. He lost me in the fucking paragraph of stupidness. So I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I'm like, I don't get it. I don't really get what you're saying. I think from what I took, and I know this is not what he meant, but what I took from it is, if you're the boss, you can do whatever. But as an employee, you have to do whatever the boss says. And if the boss is doing it and says you can do it, it's okay. He just refused to answer my question. Instead, he gave me the OSHA guidelines, and now I can. That's that. Like, there's the guidelines according to OSHA or LNI. Listen, idiot, those guys. So yeah, so I'm like, whatever. So I keep watching his video. Then he gets himself in a work position where he's out on this limb, and he's way out here, and he's got a branch behind him that he can put his lanyard around. And he's like, why do I see guys hold the rope with one hand when they're making a cut? And I think that's where his little one-handed conversation really wanted to go. He seen somebody do that, and then he wanted to bring it there by bringing up one-handing. And I don't know. I'm probably thinking way too deep about this, but there's a reason why I've held my climb line in the middle of making a cut at times. And it's because of the response of whatever it is that I'm getting ready to cut, or the movement that's going to be created on whatever I'm about to cut in comparison to where I'm anchored. Have you ever cut something and it bounces you and throws you somewhere, and your line, which was tight at one point, the tree comes up and it throws you off? Now there's all this slack and you go flying, or you come off, you gaff out. There's a reason for that. And at times, if you get a hold and get your hand onto it, and you make that cut, as the thing bounces, you can pull it in and then relieve yourself back out. Now, I think anytime you can use as many tie-ins as possible, you're going to be more secure. I agree there, 100%. I just think you should. But to think that you're always going to have a branch behind you that you can perfectly throw your lanyard around is a bit crazy, man. You know? So, in that situation, it worked for him. Cool. but he's using a tie-in the whole time that I refuse to just believe that it was so strong. And he literally 100 different times in this video pointed out how he called it springy, spongy. I don't know, some weird ass word. It was weak. It had way too much give to it, too much play in the system. His climbing system, the whole time he could reach up, grab his climb line, and go like this, and the top went like this of the tree he was tied into. And he's like, he put this weird angle. It was like a base anchor, so it was coming at a weird angle onto a tree that really went arced over and kind of not the tree probably that to be using that base anchor kind of a system. But he says, I asked him, focusing on the one hand is cool, but you also pointed out that your system is very springy and very bouncy. And I think that maybe is a little more important, is to make sure that you have a safe tie-in point. And his reason for it not being a major thought in his video is, I'm not planning on coming off this tree. So even though this is very springy and weak, I'm not planning on coming off this tree and swinging to it. So I don't plan on really using it. And I'm like, what? Of course, I've never been like, I plan on smashing into a different tree. I plan on slipping. I plan on doing something and messing up. You don't ever plan on doing that. So it's just a little weird to say that it's okay to be springy and weird, because I don't plan on coming off this tree. Okay, man. Cool. And he said that he was just joking. In his response back to me, he says he was joking. That he was being... I'm gonna hit him with a ticket right now for trying to be smarty pants. Smarty pants ticket. He wrote me a paragraph responding back to me. It was like the OSHA rules and regulations. And I wasn't watching OSHA's video, I was watching yours, so I just wanted to know yes or no. And then also, on top of it, you wouldn't talk about this tie-in point literally maybe 20 different times. He brings it up in the video if it was super, super strong. He points out to me in his responses that he made compression with his tie. I don't know what making compression matters in that situation, but right on. That is what it is. So, yeah. I don't even know what to say sometimes about him. It's got to be uncomfortable sitting on that fence post, though, man. It's got to be uncomfortable. But let's move on. Let's go to the next. All right, this dude sucks. All right, Zachus. Most of you probably know Zachus. This guy sucks. I'm just kidding. I like Zach. Zachus is cool. He put out a video where he bought a dumpster off of Marketplace and went and picked it up. Ended up having to switch the doors out and all kinds of stuff on it with a different dumpster. It is a cool little video, so go check that out. Zachus is spelled Zacchus, and he's a really good tree dude too. So definitely worth a watch if you don't watch him. All right, next channel, Peter Shay. Now everybody, do me a favor. Peter just needs some help. He needs some help learning some stuff. So somebody, if you get time, show Peter how to sharpen a chainsaw. Yep. That's 1 point to me. Show him how to dress a bar. That 2 points. And he put out a video showing how his saw cuts in a full C. I don't know why it cuts like that, but I'm sure when somebody helps him figure out how to sharpen a saw and how to dress the bar, it'll be fine. He'll get her figured out. But yeah, Peter's just been asking for help. Go check him out. He's over there. He's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. Like, so, go check Peter out. Help him. He really needs some help. He was asking for it, so I figured I'd help him out, and maybe you guys could use the comment section or run over to his channel and help him out. He's just a little confused. He'll get her figured out, though. All right. So, I told you somebody. Look, okay. I tried to tell people to go to this channel once again. All right. I tried to tell people go to this channel. This channel will be big one day, and you can maybe get in on the ground floor and maybe get to know him, start a relationship with the guy before his channel becomes big. Maybe that'd be cool. And I take it back. I take it back. All right. I take it all back. I sharpen different, and everyone thinks I'm cool. Dude, there's a million different ways to do it, man. I mean, YouTube has proven that there's many different ways to do it. And to each their own. But the channel is called Woodroy TV. The video was called How I Start My Saw. ... Woodroy, that wasn't the title. That wasn't the title of the video. You did it again. You went back and you changed the title. The really clickbaity, crazy title you left, and that you put the video out. I'm going to start screenshotting your thumbnails and your titles, because I make a response to them, and then you go back and you switch them to kind of make me look like maybe I'm wrong. The video, I believe, originally was called The Easiest and Fastest Way to Start a Chainsaw. And I'm like, what? This video blew my mind. He made it a point to basically tell anyone that they shouldn't start a chainsaw on the ground. You should start your chainsaw, and you should never do it with the brake on. Do you do tree videos, Bert? Yeah, you should see homeboys. Like, he spends over at Woodroy. He this is what he does with his videos, and he's very like cool. I'll check you out, Bert. We'll have to check you out. He says that the reason that you need the brake off is it will help the chainsaw start faster and easier, because a brake restricts it, he says. The guy has hometown hero syndrome. He's in the middle of nowhere where there's very few people. Maybe he is a lot of like self-taught, and I can almost bet you he's not a guy that watches anything else tree related other than himself. He may watch himself nonstop, but he wouldn't dare watch somebody else. He's not ever looking to learn anything. Or maybe he does have that one person out there that he respects and he learns from, but I've never seen anything like advancing to where he's like getting any better. It's just he feels like he knows it all already and he's letting you all in on his amazing secrets that all these other, and here's the part that bugs me, is he points out like things that other people do and like basically calls them dumb. I don't understand why guys do this. I see guys do this, and well, if I went off your actions, I would think you've never watched another tree dude do anything, because eventually you would start to get a little better and not think you're just the bee's knees, man. The coolest thing since sliced bread. You're cooler than the underside of the pillow. You know how it's always real nice when you're sleeping, it's kind of hot, you flip the pillow over, it's a little cooler on that side. He's cooler than that. So when you're that arrogant and you think so fond of yourself, you can come off incredibly smug. And if you're going to come off so smug, you should at least know what you're talking about. You come off like a used car salesman when you try to justify your bad habits as things that make it better. That's the mentality of a lot of fellers that do YouTube and make videos. Like, they may have a bad habit, but they eventually figure out a way to move the goalpost enough that their bad habit becomes the thing that makes it better. Which I'll never, ever, ever understand. I just don't get it. So yeah, he put out, it's just full of bad info and it's dangerous. So that's that video. Go check it out if you want to see it. Woodroy TV is it. He also switched his video where he said he made it the best way to sharpen a chainsaw, or the fastest, only 5 minutes, the best way to sharpen a chainsaw. He's already titled it something different because I made fun of that. And if you want to laugh, I put out a YouTube short where I took his advice and I ended up cutting my my thing off. So if you get bored, it's on the channel. Check it out. Maybe you get a chuckle out of it. All right. This guy's got a crazy ass jack off all trees. Oh, no, my bad. Whoop. Holy shit. Yeah, that gets really crazy and you throw an extra F on it, doesn't it? Jack of all trees. Wow, we went there right from the get-go. That was, yeah, son of a gun. But Jack of all trees put out a video called I Slipped While Rigging. It's a prune job that he's doing, and he just got out at a crazy rope angle because you can't use spikes and stuff. Yeah, Peter, that was my bad. I can't believe that. Yeah, that happened. So it's a spikeless prune job where he's doing some rigging, and he just gets really far out on a slick bark tree. When you're not using spikes, you got to think a couple moves ahead. So if you're going to go on a weird limb walk, while you're up in the canopy, if you could get yourself further out on a different limb, that would move your anchor point a little further out so that you get that good work positioning on that long limb walk. It's important. Doing anything without spikes, you need to think multiple moves ahead, because if you're up at the top, okay, and it's got a V up in it, it's got a V up here, and then it's got this weird long limb out here, and you're tied up over here on the V out of the top. You're tied up here, and you go down. So now you got to go on this long limb walk way out here, and you got this crazy rope angle. When you could have, while you're tied in here, swung over, did the work over here, went back, and then swung over to this limb, put a redirect, and now you've moved that anchor point way over to here. So that rope angle that was like this is now just like this. So thinking ahead on the spikeless stuff, can really, really save you and make the day a whole lot easier. So, oh, okay, August Hunii. I don't want to be. This is the truth. Okay. So August put out a video. It was called "This Tree Shouldn't Be So Flexible," and this may have been my favorite video in forever, like in years. This is my favorite video he's put out in years, and there was no August. Um, Apparently he had a baby. I didn't even know dudes could do that, but nowadays things have changed. But he had a baby, and so he was on maternity leave, and he had to stay home with the baby. Um, Probably, possibly to breastfeed stuff. I don't really know. Um, I'm not. I'm not in his family or anything, but instantly I start to realize, well, this is wild. We're halfway through this video, and no one's tried to sell me anything. Huh. There's no way I'll get through this video without somebody trying to sell me something. So there's Samurai Joe and the new feller. I can't remember. Max is his name. So Max and Samurai Joe go to this tiger sanctuary, and they're taking this tree that had snow load. It was at a complete bend. So really cool video. The tree ends up like going from being like this to after they got the snow off of it. It was like almost straight up in the air. It was crazy looking. But hence the title, "This Tree Shouldn't Be So Flexible." Actually, a really good title. Um, I really like. Joe is one of my favorite climbers to watch, and so I enjoy anything when Joe's in on it. Um, so I'm like, well, maybe it's not. Maybe I just like Joe, and that's the reason I instantly think it's the best video. But the video ended. No one sold me anything. And I was like, no way. It has been years since I have watched an August Hunii video without being sold something throughout it. And I'm like, whoa, holy smokes. Did that really just happen? And then another video came out. And I was like, oh shit, oh cool. This video is called "Highly Flammable Area, Battery or Gas." So August wasn't even in the first video. He shows up in the second one. He's right there at the beginning, and he's just, I think he pointed out what they're supposed to do, and then he had to go home for the baby again. So he was heading home. Apparently, he says that it's not babysitting if it's your own kid. Why did they call it sitting anyway? Babysitting. So I don't. That's kind of weird. I never thought about it, but maybe I don't know. I only have the one kid, and she's 19 now. So I don't know much about the baby stuff. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I'm reading my comments on that. August had a baby. Thought only women could do that. August had to leave to babysit. Looks like he has postpartum, um, from the baby birth stuff, But I don't. This is just what I was like. Maybe I'm wrong. But the video has Damien and Max, and they were doing the work. No August in this video. They cut down some trees. They use some annoying sounding battery saws, and then a couple gas saws. And I diss on the battery saws. I get it. They're kind of cool. They're not actually. They're not cool at all. They're not cool at all. But they could be awesome for a certain situation, so you can keep from especially highly flammable areas, stuff like that. The battery power, but you could still get a spark from the metal on metal for the bar, but whatever. So it turns out I like again another video. I didn't get sold anything. No one tried to sell me anything at the beginning. Then nobody tried to sell me anything at the end or through the middle. And I was like, holy smokes, I'm about to get to where I love this channel again. Because there was a point where I just dig the content, love the channel. And I'm like, sweet, old August is back. This is going to get cool. Yeah, I like when he used to keep it separate. Monkey Beaver was its own thing. And August Hunii was its own thing. And so well, at one point they morphed together and made Monkey Hunii or something. I don't know. Beaver Monarchy. I don't know. But so I'm like, sweet though, maybe the infomercial shit will stop a little bit. That'll be kind of cool. And then sure as shit, next video comes out and here's August trying to sell me something, and I was like, son of a bitch. So for selling products when I don't want you to, I'm making this violation up because I'm just sick of every YouTuber selling me something. Every single time I get on and watch a video, some YouTuber is selling me something, and I do want to let you guys know I'll be selling stuff here soon. So just get your wallets ready. I haven't figured out what I'm going to sell you yet, but I've talked about this before. I'm going to sell you something, and it's going to cost probably a lot of money, and I'm going to make a lot of money. So just know that. Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to finish that. He's got 1/4-inch bars now, so yeah, monkeybeaver.com. Turned into an infomercial again. That video was what it was. So let's move on. Tree Mugs and the Educated Climber puts out a video called Intentional Rigging System Design 101. Love Patrick's stuff. Patrick is very, very, very smart. And that's the only reason, like, I think he's almost too smart. So disgusting cats are outside screaming. They're nasty. So he gives, in this video, he gives the most detailed explanation of building a proper or adequate rigging system to perform whatever task you got to do when you're up in a tree, whether it be rigging a top out, rigging all the limbs out, rigging solely wood out, building the right rigging system for what it is that you're about to do. So the problem with the video is the complicated wording that he uses. Like, I personally, I'll watch it multiple times to get to where I understand it. But I know I'm not smart, but like I'm also not dumb, and a lot of the stuff went over my head at first, so I'd have to rewatch. And I just wonder if other people will rewatch it like I will, or if you'll lose them after a little bit, because it's so complicated with the wording that he uses. But yeah, I just hope that I just wish there was a dumbed down version of it, that he'd explain it in layman's terms a little more. And but I guess that discussion of building a rigging system and all that, like, you're gonna be advanced if you're gonna go to that point. But I don't know. Maybe you have this major understanding that the layman wouldn't have, and maybe that's what he means. But like, and why he made it so complicated. But go check his channel out. It's Tree Mugs and Educated Climber. Moving on though. In the Trees. In the Trees is a pretty cool YouTube channel. I like the guy. I think he's funny. Put out a video called Dreaming of Crane Picks in Warmer Weather. The video was funny. It had a funny skit at the beginning that I really liked. And he did did a pretty good job on all the crane work. It was a video doing crane work. I'm not a guy that's done crane work, but I noticed like there's a couple really key things with crane work, like finishing the cuts, trying to get in a good position where you're not at like chest height, in case the base was to jump off in any direction, it doesn't get you. I noticed a lot of crane guys will get lower as they're making and finishing the cut. That way, if need be, they could dodge out of the way and get out of the way. And also, really, after you make that cut, watching the cut, not like he made one mistake where he turned and like put his saw up, and by the time he turned back around, the butt swung by his head. And he was good though, but he even pointed out in the video, I guess that's a really important time to be paying attention is when the cut's leaving. And the crane operator was like, yeah, for sure. I would love to give it a shot one day. I think it would be fun. But, yeah. Check him out. In the Trees. Funny guy. And he's also he seems to do live feed work where he will just go live and you get the most raw, straightforward, honest setup that you can possibly do. There's not editing. It's raw, it's live, and you can watch what he does. I think he's going to have a very successful YouTube channel probably long term. Good name. It doesn't really have any way that someone could take it negative. He seems pretty positive. He just seems like his channel will do good. So check him out. He seems like a good guy. Then I accidentally stumbled across this channel. I don't even know where this came from. Overberg Arborists is the channel. And the video is called We Crushed a Palm Removal and Then Disaster Struck. And I'm like, oh shoot, disaster struck. Those are some key YouTuber words. Okay, I'll watch this. And I thought that weird metal and wood guy was the only one that did those like views from your crotch. And I found another guy that does it. Except for he does it from the backside. So it's like gooch view. And I don't like it. I think if his name is Overberg, I don't know what this guy's name is, but you've got to knock it off. Maybe I'll tag him, that way he can see this. I don't want to see you do anything from the view of looking at your butthole. That's weird. And I don't like it. Stop. It's strange. You should not put your camera down, point it at your crotch, whether it be from the front side or the back side, and expect that someone wants to view you from that angle. It's weird, man. Like, it's just weird. So, I seen him do a throw ball shot from the view of his anus, which it wasn't very fun, but he did a nice job pulling over the palm tree. Then the disaster that happened was one of the ground guys hit his shin on something and got a little scrape where there was a little bit of blood. I am dead serious. The disaster was fixed by a small-sized Band-Aid. Now the guy was wearing shorts, tennis shoes, a ball cap, no hearing protection, no eye protection, and he got a boo-boo on his knee. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to hit him with, well, yeah, have to. Don't ever make me watch anything from between your legs again, first of all. And, getting a scrape, a boo-boo, on your knee is not worthy of titling your video Disaster Strikes. So, yeah, knock that shit off. That was lame. Oh, and then on top of it, 90% of the video wasn't in English. You spoke English at the beginning. Don't start farfanoogating after that. Like, I would have bailed out if I would have clicked it on, like, wee, blah, 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 the whole time. And I'm like, I would have been like, I can't watch this, like, or put subtitles on. But don't speak to me in English, then make me watch something from between your legs, and then start getting all foreign with it. Because I don't even know what was said the whole time, but I'll watch the video. So that's a ticket, and the ticket is America. That's all it is. Just America. What do you think about that? I don't even know where this guy's from, but that's what I got to say about it. Alright, next channel is JLM Tree Service. The video, these big trees just got terminated. And if I'm just being honest, it's hard to call a tree big when you can make a single pass cut with a 20-inch bar. Come on, man. Like, big? I don't know. Like, whatever. I guess maybe they could, in all actuality, they could be big for you. Maybe. But you're the same guy that talks about, I want to go to the Pacific Northwest and climb one of them 200 foot. I would love that. Dude, you consider a 70-foot bald cypress that's about this big around to be a big tree. Maybe check yourself. Maybe check yourself a little bit. But I guess you're just embellishing, so there's no ticket to that. So we let him by there. Second video was fun sweet gum removal in a pinch. He done that thing where he's like, all right, like, comment, subscribe on our video, and we'll see you at the top. And then all of a sudden it comes back, and it's like he's at the bottom of the tree still doing something. And I'm like, hey, you just said we're not at I thought we were going to the top. So twiddle with something, and then it grabs a video, and it clicks off, and then we go to the top. So I just wish he wouldn't lie to me every time, because I get all excited, and I'm like, oh, we're going to the top. And then we never go to the top. But, yeah, the rigging in the video is a little hairball because he left some stubs, but they got her done. Check his channel out. That's JLM Tree Service. If you want to check his channel out, go do that. Then next channel, and which I believe this is the last one. We finally, yeah, this will probably be the last channel. But this guy really sucks. So I was teasing earlier when I said that about Zachus, but this dude legit sucks. Veterans Tree Service, Tim. Removing 5 trees over this house. The video starts, and it instantly starts with Tim trying to put some wood in his groundy's mouth. And I'm like, I actually clicked out for a little bit, and I'm like, I turned away. I'm like, I hope that shit's over with before I don't think I want to watch that. So I was like, I did something for a little bit, so I don't know what happened for a second, but he was like, open your mouth. And I'm like, no, I think I clicked on the wrong video. And then I was like, maybe not, and I'll just wait. So I just pushed it off, and then I went back and I was watching, and I don't know what sus stuff happened after that, but I heard a chainsaw start, and then I was like, okay, it's safe again. So I went back and I started to watch it again. First of all, Tim, never give me advice ever, because I know everything already, and you're not cool enough to give, like, don't try to teach, you're trying to big dog me. Don't ever try to big dog me. I big dog people. You don't big dog me. So he's trying me. He's trying me though, but this SOB is still tying in to a single limb. And the damn tree that he's on isn't the center stem. It was only like
there were times when it was like only this big. And he was still tying into a limb. At this point, you were just trolling me, and I don't like it. I seen Jeff Schroeder switched his up a little bit, and like, you know what? I thought, did I get this yet? Oh, okay, hang on. No, there is still other ones. Damn it. Jeff will throw it up over a branch, a single branch, which I don't, that sketches me out, but whatever. But then he anchors it to the actual stem. So you get the leverage from being on the single limb like you want, which I don't understand why you would want that, but it's what guys do. But he anchors it to the actual stem. That way, if the branch was to break, he's still tied into the stem, which will actually hold you. I don't like it, so knock it off, Tim. So that is a call on repeatedly making the same, like you're a habitual offender at this point. So the put it in Jake's mouth thing, like I don't know if there's any laws about that. I just don't like it. But the tying into the single limb when you're on a little bitty diameter, that's just, you're trolling, and you're not getting me worked up. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to get all worked up, and you get joy out of trolling me. You can't troll me. Then in the video, he just keeps on hitting this pile of treasure that's down there. This guy has this really important pile of like all these real delicate, expensive, fragile objects. He's got a pile of them down below by these trees, and Tim just keeps hitting it. He just keeps hitting it and keeps hitting it and keeps. And he thinks it's funny. It's not funny, Tim. It's not funny. All right, it's not funny. And I think you should work on making your voice deeper. You need a deeper voice. For us to take you serious, your voice needs to be deep. It's just, that's just the way it is. If you need to smoke cigarettes, whatever it is you need to do, gargle whiskey, I don't care. But just get your voice deeper. That's a must. He says that he actually admitted it. It's on film. He says he's not a tree climber. He's a YouTuber. So I'm sure he's going to get a ticket for tubing too hard. It'll happen. It will happen. So then we move into stop complaining about your tender little fingies. Little fingies. He says, my little fingies is cold. Oh, my tender little fingies. He said, I can't feel my fingies. They hurt so bad. My fingers are cold. You already have bitch mittens on. Suck it up. Suck it up. If I was there, I would climb that tree in shorts. So, what next? Yeah, the bitch mittens, hands. Okay, and then once again, raptors. You only use it if you're a sissy, and he admits it. He's lazy, and he uses it. He even points it out how lazy he is. So he uses the raptor because he's lazy already. And I mean, the only other thing I have to ask about the raptor is if I was want to know if I could borrow it for a little bit. But next, he's using a porter wrap, and it keeps causing pigtails in the rope and getting knotted up and having trouble going through it. And I think the reason for that with a porter wrap is that you have directional frictions on that circular rope. That's friction here and here as it goes through the lead or the fair lead. Then you get friction on the opposite side, and then the direction of the friction is changing. So as that piece is going down, or the rope's going through the system, it's actually twisting itself because the direction of the friction is changing and it's causing the rope to twist. That's why a bollard works so nice. It's directional, and the friction is in one direction repeatedly. It doesn't change and go in different directions, which causes the pigtails. So yeah, get you a GB bollard, and then you could at least be like catching up with all of our coolness. Like you're all right, but you ain't like cool like the rest of us that have a bollard already. So there's GB bollard guys, there's GB bollard guys, there's porter wrap guys. I mean, but you use what you got. There's porter wrap guys. Above that are the guys that use just a tire rim. Then you somewhere down mixed in with the tire rims like the GRCS and the Hobbs and stuff. And then you got, the bollard guys. So you got to get one, man. Oh shit, Tim's here. Oh, what's up, man? Yeah. That just you could be cool. You could be cool. It's right there. And you could join the Red Box Club and all kinds of shit. And I think we could make you cool eventually. I see potential, Tim. I see potential. That's why. But I think it's. Did you get a new tool from the KKK? Hang on, did I put up one too many? My bad. From Kiwi Climber or something like that. Yeah, that's twice I've made him. An extra letter changes shit, doesn't it? Yeah, Tim got a pretty cool attachment for his spikes, and from Kiwi Climber, it should be kind of cool. You can add a video with a fellow. Yeah, a rim will work. So it'll definitely get her done. But yeah, I'm sure you'll dig the spike ascender, man. It is it's nice to have. Really, really nice to have. I don't like having an ascender actually attached to my spikes at all times because visually it gets in the way when I want to on skinny limb walks when I want to be precise with my gaps. Maybe it wouldn't for most people, but I don't. It messes with me, and I need to be able to see the gap. And some of the other ones would get in the way, and so I like mine attaches and I like unattaches. I can attach mine in a couple seconds, and I can take it off in a couple seconds. And I like that. But yeah, the Kiwi Climber, I would say, looks like it's going to be pretty cool though. So, yeah, Tim didn't get, as long as he stops talking about sus stuff like putting wood in Homeboy's mouth, telling him to open up, and then definitely don't just buy from the company with the 2Ks. Don't buy anything from them other guys. And what else? Get a deeper voice. Let me borrow the Raptor. And what else? Oh yeah, you little bitch mitten, you little tender fingers. But none of that stuff's illegal. It's all cool. Yeah, it gets the job done. It gets the job done. I didn't think it would really bother me having an ascender in the way. But after using them for a while, I used to have an ascender that I put on on the outside of my boot. And then even having it on the inside, it would still stick out real weird and kind of be in the way. But, yeah. Yeah. Check it out, though. If you're curious about having a spike ascender, Veterans, Tim from Veterans just got one. I'm sure he's going to be putting it on. You can see how he likes it, what he thinks about it. Go check his channel out. Dude got 2 more channels. Next, Jeffrey Schroeder. Jeff got in trouble last week for tubing too hard, but he put out a video called Tree Climber Climbs 175-foot snag in the snow.
The video starts and he's still talking about the one that got away. Where we gave him a little bit of a hard time, where he was upset that he forgot his GoPros and he was willing to pay somebody $100 to go get them. Like, bro, that's crazy. Because on my videos, I don't make anything. Like, you must make so much more money than me. I would never, like, I'd pay somebody like $2 to go get it because the video is only going to make $3. So I'm like, but he's going to pay $100 to go get his Go. I would have went and got it for him. But Jeff put out his video. He has a new batch of hand-forged Jeff Schroeder National pattern axes. The sale started, and yeah, so that's the newest video he just put up. That was today, I think. All right, whoever is trolling Jeff, you got to head out, BR. See you, brother. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out, man. Whoever's trolling Jeff in the comment section, Jeff talks about in the video. Like, that's fucked up. You guys, you should stop. That's not right to just randomly troll someone. I personally would never do that. So, Jeff apparently, and they were mad and trolling Jeff over his music selection on one of his YouTube shorts. I thought he was going to talk about me and he was going to block me. I'm like, oh, don't do it, Jeff. Don't get mad at me. All I said is don't tube so hard. But yeah, someone's trolling him. Trolling people is lame. You shouldn't do that. So stop trolling Jeff. This week he did not tube too hard. So all the way in with Jeff. He's back. So in conclusion, buy his axe, join his members, super chat him, and just basically empty your wallet out. My guy is a straight YouTuber. He's a tuber now. So dang, you got one of them climb lines. It's like wine. That's climb wine. That's a climb wine. When it's after 10 years and it's just getting good, it's not a climb wine. That's climb wine. I dig it. Last one. Rion rounds. It's been cool watching Rion get back to posting some videos on YouTube. They're always good. The video is called Monster Cottonwood Removal. Just and the truth, his machinery and his operation makes tree work look way too easy and simple. So knock it off, because like if my wife watched Rion the way he did, she's like, why do you come home all the time? Like, why are you always saying your job? Look, you just cut it and like pick it and move. But my wife knows too much. She wouldn't be able. She would catch on. But I climb mine. Why use it? That's sick. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I dig it. Yeah, it just gets a little extra sap, a little more sap, a little more sap. Before you know it, it's like your regular lanyard turns into a steel cord because you use it so much. That would be pretty sick. It's kind of like a Tootsie Roll Pop. Like it's like, this is good, it's a cool sucker, but then all of a sudden, bam, Tootsie Roll out of nowhere at the end. And you're like, no, it's real good. I don't know where I'm going with this conversation, but yeah, we'll just talk for a little bit, and then I'm going to clock out for the night. Probably take the squad car home, and yeah. We'll eat some dinner. Nah, shit. Nah, shit. as I go down your comments. Yeah, that's very true. You are going to pay for a guy like that to come, but there, yeah, I mean, but at one point there has to come a point where the stuff becomes paid for, and then, or maybe not. Like, I just, I don't think I'll ever comprehend that that kind of setup, that way of doing things. Like, that's just not me. It's very very different than me. Like, that shows that there's two different sides of the gig. Like, there's the way I kind of do things, but like his is this smart one. That crane will never be paid for. Do you think? Yeah. See, I don't know people's. I don't know people's setup. I'll tell you right now. I worked for a guy one time, and this guy had taken out so many overseas loans that every day that he woke up, $850 was being taken from his account. Every single day he woke up, 7 days a week. Well, no, I think weekends no. I think maybe weekends no. But it was $850 every day. So, like, that's the same guy that ripped me off too. So, some people have tons and tons and tons of debt, and that's always my worry. Like, I don't want a piece of machinery that will wear out before it can be paid off. I want to, like, if I was to get a piece of machinery, I want that machinery to pay itself off and be able to produce afterwards. Because what's the point if not? But, like, I don't, you know, I think it was like, I can't even remember what he said he paid for that thing, like 1.6 million or something like that, or it was something crazy. But I don't know what his payments are. And I'm sure that that company isn't okay with him not paying it off. I mean, that's just a weird thing for me to hear somebody say. It'll never be paid off. That's crazy. I don't know how Rion can afford everything. I really question it. No hate, just the math doesn't add up. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't get that either. And that's those there's that kind of situation is rampant around me. It's the, what do they call it? When you try to keep up with the Joneses. The neighbor in the neighborhood has to have what the neighbor has so that he's just as cool as the neighbor. But it turns out everyone's chasing each other's wealth and their material uh, objects, and none of you own your stuff. You all just have debt. You all just, like, you want to know how much debt I have? Absolutely none. I will pay my house off here in the next couple months, and I have zero debt. Nothing. So I just can't comprehend a person that has all that debt. Like, I don't use a credit card. I use a debit card. If I don't have it, I don't use it. I don't pay for it. I don't get it. Actually, my stuff. Let's see. I like your operation, Tim. I think, I don't understand, like, trying to be too big for your britches. And that was my concern with Rion originally. Is that, oh, dude, like, chill, you're going in too deep. This Merlot, there's this, there's this, there's this. And I'm like, whoa, that's just too much, man. It seemed like every week there was a new machine coming in, and God, loans were probably being financed here and there and there and there and there, but I just he's out of my league. It's something I'll probably never ever comprehend. So. Yeah, his area. Maybe he's booming there, dude. I and I mean I don't know. I don't know. Because there's always a guy out there looking to cut your throat on your price. So if everybody was getting what they should get out of these trees, we'd all be good. But you can't. You got homeboy around the corner that's gonna knock on this door when you leave because he's seen your truck parked in front of it. Like, there's always a scumbag everywhere. And because of them, you can't get what it's worth. You have to go lesser. And maybe he's actually getting what they're worth. I don't know. You should. That's what you should do, Tim. You're a much better YouTuber than you are a tree guy, anyway. So, all right, guys. Hey, thanks for hanging out again. As always, this was fun. Don't do anything stupid, and I won't come for you. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't ask me for nothing, but if you have something that you want to give me, that's cool. I'll take everything. I would enjoy your money, and mainly just your money. So go join my members. Bye. See ya. See you, Bert, Dan, Joseph, Tim, James, Ground Pounder, all you guys. Thank you so much. Bennett. Night. John, see ya.